ways. They will always put their best effort into putting on these events. So I'll try to be quick and leave time. Are there any questions that you might have or anything?
All right, any questions for Brian or comments?
Mr. Mayor. Brian, I wanted to have a conversation with you about this before. I know we've got a lot of people here that want to have weigh in their input and so forth. Quite frankly, I'm quite confused at this point why we're still having conversations about where the events will be taking place. We historically have we made a motion in which to have all historical events come back into the Heritage Park area as well. As well as also the directive was given from the mayor at our town hall in January to have a contingency plan for Country Christmas to come to downtown and be within our corridor there on State Street. So I'm quite confused why we're having a conversation about this at this point. And I know a lot of people showed up to give their opinions, and
Sure.
I'm so appreciative of everything that you guys do. But my understanding, and I would love for the rest of council to weigh in on that as well too, is that this was coming back. I know we've gotten a lot of emails as far as Country Christmas and so forth. My understanding is it was going to be back down in our downtown area, and it was going to be commenced with all of the construction and work on Heritage Park and the roadway. And so I'm sure a lot of people here are confused, as am I. So I'd like some clarification as to where the directive's coming from.
The directive, well, to have this discussion?
To have Country Christmas down at this, down at City Hall, as well as there seems to be some confusion as to where the remainder of events, as far as like Saturday market and such, are going to be once the construction is
Brian, I'm going to take you off
Sure, I was
the
going to say,
pressure.
because that has that was discussion, wasn't my discussion. I'm here just to present the facts. Those decisions, they say those aren't my decisions. We just do what we're
So can you clarify where Country Christmas is going to be for me in the...
Be here. We were told it would be here, and so we planned for it to be here, which has been it's been in the process of planning for
Melissa,
months here.
if I can tag on
Sure.
to what you said. The January 13th, 2025 town hall meeting, Megan from Sweet Tea Living spoke to all of us about celebrating the reopening of downtown with Country Christmas being held in the downtown area. And the mayor reassured Megan that event planners are already working on both plans. The mayor quoted, "As soon as I was asked that, I went to staff, said, give me a contingency plan on bringing back Country Christmas at the end of the year." So they're going to do parallel plans, because if something happens, we have to have a backup plan. So we would plan it for a one-day event because it was spread out last year. Country Christmas last year was totally changed from the format that it has been for years and years. And the mayor then said, I've talked with them, and they will have a plan A and a plan B. It's already in the books. They're working on both plans. So at this point, with the road construction being completed on State and Eagle right around October 7th, 8th, and Heritage Park being finished November 7th, I think we need to move forward with the council directive that we gave as a motion back in December when we approved the Heritage Park renovation. And we don't really need to have any further discussion.
All right, Brian, I appreciate your comments and your leadership on what you're doing right now. I'll take it from here.
Okay.
All right, thank you. I'm going to answer the question for the council and the audience, and I want to be very clear with my words. I don't care where we put the events. That's not the motivation for me. I'm not going to die on a hill. The thing is, back when construction started, it was a 2-year process. 2 years. We're at 21 months right now, okay? I've conveyed, and I conveyed Amy from, I forgot what her business is. She came up from, and she came up and spoke at the microphone at the January meeting, and I specifically told her, yes, we're going to put a contingency plan together, because I always work off contingency plans, in the event that something is done early. We have no dates and confirmation that the ACHD project nor Heritage Park will be completed in time. Staff had to come up and put together some kind of event. You can't just pick an event up and then go replace it someplace else. That's just not realistic. So they had to put all their contracts, all their vendors, all their people that are coming, the choirs, everything, they had to put it together in a location. Now, if we're going to die on the sword, I'm going to die on this sword because I said I don't care where we have them. We can have it downtown. That's totally fine. The problem is we're not 100% sure what happens if something weather-related or a change order comes up, and I said this the other night at the State of the City address, and we don't have that facility ready to go. Then what do? Cancel the whole thing? Come on, people, let's be fair about what's going on here. I want your businesses to thrive. I want you to be able to be successful. But the city has taken over a problem that was derivative from back, shoot, I've got all my notes too. Country Christmas started in December 4th of 1998 with different people doing it. The city took over all the events because everybody else quit. Everybody, the chamber was not able to do it anymore. The businesses were working with the chamber. Somehow that fell apart as well. You guys know me by now. I just talk exactly facts. I'm not going to make stuff up. I'm not going to throw sunshine at you. Well, I'm just going to give you the facts of what's going on. What do you do if Heritage Park is not ready yet or something happens on State Street and it's not ready yet? What do you do?
Mr. Mayor, respectfully, the directive was given from the council to bring it back to State Street, and that
At the
was
completion of the project.
correct. And the intent was for it to be directed there with a contingency plan as a plan B. So that was the directive, and that is what we need to move forward with. I don't want to keep circling the drain on this particular subject. That was what was told to the citizens of Eagle. We need to move forward with that, and there's.
But then you weren't listening to my reaction to Amy then, because my specific thing is nothing will happen until 2026. I said that at the last town hall meeting, right at the mic. She was right there at the microphone, and that's what I said.
Okay, that's.
It's been a 2-year project. We're not even at the 2 years.
Councilwoman Russell had given other information that specified otherwise as to what you had said.
Well, I've got
in January. So
I've got the notes right here. Council, this is important, guys, so that's why I'm going to read it. Council member Russell confirms that all historic events will be brought back to Heritage Park after construction is complete. Okay? After construction is complete.
And Mr. Mayor, that was from our December of 2024 meeting. Then there was a follow-up town hall, which I quoted you.
And that's the 13th that we're talking about.
Exactly right. So there needs to be no further discussion. Events will return to Heritage Park in downtown.
Like I said, I don't care.
I don't think so. I mean, as Melissa said, we're circling the drain, so let's just
Well, this is
move on
important
to another topic.
This is important for all the citizens of Eagle, okay?
And respectfully, the directive has already been given, and I don't believe there's any further discussion to be had.
Well, I'm running the meeting. I totally respect what you're saying, but I want the public to understand absolutely what's going on. Brian, I'm going to pull you back up for 1 second. No, or I'll give it to you. I know you'll do whatever your directive is.
Sure.
From this part on, are you able to pick up what you've got right now at Civic Center and place it at Heritage Park, regardless of the completion of Heritage Park and State Street?
Strictly from an event production point of view, not all of it, no. Some of it was designed specifically for here. An event can happen there. It just wouldn't be the same event, but an event, like I said, we can put on an event anywhere.
You guys are getting mixed up on contingency plans, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to be a difference of opinion with you guys, because the whole thing started with 2-year construction project. I don't know where you missed that part. We're not even at 2 years yet. We're at 21 months, okay? Well, what's the problem? I mean, I don't get it. Why? No questions yet. You'll have time to come up and talk, and I want your name and address for the record, please, because that's important. The contingency plan was, if Heritage Park in Eagle State Street is not completed, the contingency was to have it here. Okay? There is no way that if we miraculously finish this project, especially with delays like this when the weather's inclement, they can't work on electrical, folks. They can't do all the things that needs to be done. They can't finish the stucco. They can't finish the roofing. They can't finish stuff. I've had numerous conversations with business owners downtown. I'm not trying to hurt your business. I did not put this 10-year project on the plate. I did not do ACHD's project. All I'm trying to do is say, I don't think the realistic thing, when from talking to our professionals here, that we're going to be able to pick up an event and put it back down at State Street and Heritage Park. You guys do a remodel in your house, and the construction person doesn't show up, and you planned on having Thanksgiving there with all of your family, and there's still no toilets, no plastics all in the hallway. What do you do then, folks? At least we put a contingency plan together, right? We have a viable location for the event with no hiccups, no nothing. Tom, I'll let you get your comments in a minute when we open it up for the floor. Brian, I want to say it right now because the council did make a motion. Okay, here's the deal. They made the motion. You put it back at Heritage Park in State Street no matter what. How's that? We'll see what the outcome is. We'll see the results of us putting it there. I don't know how you're going to do it, but all right.
Well, Mr.
You
Mayor,
guys don't know as much as the professionals. Please, let's be realistic about this. Okay? Tom, you're going to wait until you get the open mic, or I'll ask you to leave if not. Well, okay, I know. You will have your opportunity to talk, just like everybody else. But we're going to do this. We have a civility ordinance. We have a thing that's set up the way we open. We do a town hall meeting, all right, on purpose, to hear from the public. It's important to hear from you. We are going to hear from you. But doggone it, you're going to hear the truth first, okay? You can laugh all you want, but that's the facts of the matter. I'm not up here to get your votes, okay? I'm up here to do what's right for the citizens of Eagle. And doggone it, when things happen and there's a problem, I know right now Brian is freaking out because we just said we're bringing everything back to downtown. I hope it works out great. I really do. But if it doesn't, I want all of you back here, and we'll have a discussion afterwards.
Mr. Mayor. So Brian, I saw an email that just went out this last week. Have you been securing vendors already, or was that the first ask for the country Christmas? So it wouldn't be that difficult to.
That's the first ask. The things that we've secured are like contracts for the performers and things like that. The rentals that we've done for the coverings we were going to do on Civic Lane, all of that stuff's in the process of being done. So that would just be canceling all of those things and really starting from scratch over how we're going to do it. Like I said, the staff, got a great staff. They will do whatever we're directed to do
pivot
and pull off the very best event we can with what we're directed to do.
So we can still, I don't think we have to totally abort a contingency plan. We go forward. If it's going to move back down to Heritage Park, you can still have a contingency plan. So we'll know, in mid-October, end of October, obviously, if something's not going to happen, then we have a contingency plan. But everything points to the fact that they're going to be done the end of October. Heritage Park, we keep hearing November 7th. And, we've been getting a lot of emails these last few days. And I don't want us to lose sight of the reason that we had that pocket park put in and Saturday market was started. It was not to necessarily have a big Saturday market and have, vendors making lots of money. It was basically to highlight the core, the heart of our downtown, and bring people down there and create that synergy and have the Saturday market and the Heritage Park be that catalyst to do that. And just the last few days, I've heard from a lot of our business owners, and gosh, they have been through it. And there was a comment made that we can't just focus on the downtown. Well, right now the downtown is what is needing our attention. That doesn't mean that in a couple years it might not be over in the East End Marketplace or out by Fred Meyer. But right now, it's almost 3 years of construction and changes and receipts going down. And what better way than for the beginning of Christmas to, if we can, and it might not be just everything that we've had in the past, but we can shine the spotlight down there, get people back in our downtown and say, hey, come. Somebody said the other day, I think the phrase was home again or something. But if we could go ahead and plan that and then have that contingency plan, like you suggested, Mr. Mayor, then I think we've got a game plan and a path forward to do that. But I think we should try to get this downtown. That's the core of our city, and we don't want to lose sight of bringing that energy back down there. And what a way to show it off! If it's all done, the arch is back, light it up, and if we have overflow or if something happens at the end, if somebody wants to just be down here with a food truck or something, but let's give it a try. Let's help the community that we all represent. And thank you to you and your team. I know you work really hard too. So.
Well, I appreciate your comments, Mary, for that, and you're right.
Thank you.
But somehow this has become a battle between the mayor's office and the citizen, the businesses. I don't know how this ever got unfolded this way. That's what I'm most frustrated with. As I said at the beginning, I want you guys to be able to have a downtown. That's where it's been. It's not historically as solid as it's made out to be on all the events. Obviously, there's a lot of history behind these and a lot of different mayors that participated in these things. But you guys made a vote. I opened up the opportunity, what if, with a contingency plan. Maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut and said, okay, you guys voted, we'll just make it happen. All right? Okay? I'm not saying if it doesn't work out, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm just being as honest as I can with you guys. I don't know what else to tell you.
Respectfully, Mr. Mayor, I think the motion we should move forward with, the notion we should move forward with is we do the absolute best that we can, and wherever it lands is wherever it lands. I mean, I'd like to take a more positive approach and say, this is going to be the best it can possibly be this year, and we will do whatever we take through hell and high water to make this happen, as opposed to, well, if it doesn't work out, come back and yell at me next year. I don't want to take that approach. I want to take an approach that's much more proactive in saying we do the very best that we can for the citizens of Eagle and especially the downtown businesses to bring it back to as much as we possibly can.
And that's where I'm saying I feel like you guys have created a divide with my position and your motion. And I've been positive the whole time. You guys aren't the one that's getting the feedback. You guys can talk, you can laugh all you want. That's not the reality of it, though, okay? It's not a joke. This is serious stuff, all right? But anyhow, you've made a motion. We're going to honor the motion. You're bringing everything back to Heritage Park for this year, and we see what happens.
One question. Are we going to have a tree at Heritage Park? And that's a serious question, and that's not to... A tree. What tree?
Yes, a blue spruce. A blue spruce is going in there. Yes.
Perfect.
And if I have to, I will hire a lighting company to light it.
Yes.
And that was a serious
I
question. I just wanted to know
yeah.
what tree we're
Yeah.
lighting up so I can plan.
I just have to take a moment here because remember that motion with Heritage Park. We specifically did, not to exceed $10,000 per tree because with the expectation that we would have a big tree. And I've got extra lights at home. I'm happy to bring those down. But I think we definitely need to light up the park. Yeah.
I just want to make sure we had a tree that we would be able to light up because.
Mr. Mayor,
So,
I think ACH
there you go.
wanted.
I was going to say whatever. I just wanted to ask while everybody's here so I know what direction we're going to go. If we're going to buy if we're one that we put in, fantastic.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a comment. I think the decision has been made that we're going to have it at Heritage Park, and we need to go in that direction. I think what's important to make it successful is that we need to keep a close track of the progress, percent complete that's going on with Heritage Park, because that seems to be the big stumbling block, whether that's going to be ready or not. Keep close track of what's going on there, and as time approaches, your percent complete can dictate how much you can implement in the country Christmas for that period. So you may not be able to get 100% country Christmas put together if it's not complete, but you can certainly figure out a percentage that you can complete given the percent complete if it's not going to be done on time. So, but the point is, it's not a yes, we're going to do it, or no, we're not going to do it because something may not be complete. We're going to do it. And just figure out the percentage, if it's not going to show up to be complete by the deadline, what percent you can put on as far as Country Christmas, and then the year after that, then we go with 100%.
And I will tell you that no matter what that percentage is, the staff will give 100%. They're a great staff. And you won't know, the public won't know what percentage we were able to put on. They'll see a great event and say, that's fantastic. They did great. So. Right. Anything else?
And personally, I would like to hear some regular updates on the percent complete of these projects that could potentially interfere with Country Christmas. And if it does look like it's not going to be complete, how are you going to adjust to put on what you can put on? And I was not questioning the competency of your staff.
No,
Your
I
staff,
didn't think so at all.
your staff is great.
They're fantastic.
Councilmember Kwame, just a comment that Nicole Baird Spencer does give us weekly updates of construction for both Heritage Park and State and Eagle. So we are pretty.
I would like to hear from the Recreation Department on what their percent complete, what they at any particular point in time, what percent of a Country Christmas they can put on.
You guys good at math? Because I'm not. We'll get that to you. We'll let you know. We'll do our best. Is that all? All right, I'll be over here.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. Now I'm going to open the floor up to people. So come up to the microphone, name and address for the record, and off you go.
Steve Bender, 1235 North Seven Oaks Place in Eagle. To follow on this discussion, I realize you have a finite staff to work this, and that there are only so many hours in the day and so many days to get ready. I don't know what the legal requirements are yet. What would prohibit citizens from volunteering and showing up to help with getting everything ready, particularly if construction's delayed a week or two? Perhaps the council or mayor could check with Victor and whoever else we need to talk to see if there's a way. Because I'm willing to bet I'm not the only person, even in this room, that would be willing to help and volunteer to give the staff extra manpower to do everything to get ready in a more condensed time frame as the date gets closer. And I'll assume that applause means they're willing to volunteer.
Mr. Mayor, Brian wants to come up and speak. He does have a volunteer coordinator that coordinates volunteers for city events.
We have staff. We actually have a link that we put out when we're searching for volunteers. It's an easy process. There's a volunteer form for legal reasons. It's a waiver form. You sign it. You tell us what it is you're wanting to help with, and then we have one of our staff that contacts all the volunteers, sets it up. You sign the waiver, and we've done everything from planting flowers to building rock walls. So there's nothing at Country Christmas that would require too much exertion. The hardest part's going to be the legal contracts and everything we're going to have to rush through to get everything changed and done. But as far as the volunteer end, there's nothing there that would be overwhelming as long as they like Christmas and like to decorate and enjoy Santa Claus. So anyway,
Thank you,
so yeah, we have that in place.
All right. Thanks. Okay, who's next?
Hello, my name is Dwight McCarty, 689 West Cowman Court, Eagle. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council, for allowing us to add comments. Obviously, it seems like it's a little overdue. And I doubt we'll make the 7 o'clock hard stop, but we'll do everything we can. So this one is just going to be for the record because you already were talking about it, but I wanted to put this on the record. And can you describe the things that affect the priority of the location choice for getting all events back to downtown business district? And then will Josh be the lead for the 2026 Fun Days? But my questions that you can address now are, can you describe the outcome of the Senior Center lawsuit now that I believe it has been completed? Are there any other pending lawsuits against the Senior Center or other city interests? And then can the mayor describe what the process will be in deciding how the city would donate $250,000 to Crowfoot and Avamore and how that plan came to be? Thank you.
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's a lot of questions, Dwight, but thanks. I'll take them on.
Well, you can do,
Let's work backwards First of all, the $250,000 that would have to be allocated from council to free that up. In order to, and that's why we're in litigation with the current shooting range, archery range, sports park, whatever we're going to call it. So we're limited on what we can actually talk about after the litigation. We do have some law firm has reached out. They want depositions done, so we'll see what happens in November and December with that. Eagles Senior Center, I'm not going to speak to that right now either because there could be some changes that are still in the works, and I don't want to be held, in any kind of contempt for anything. But the jury did find the city liable for $2,500, and they found Helen Russell not guilty, and they found former Mayor Jason Pierce guilty for $5,000. So that's all the details I know right now. So we'll stop at that one right there. You're going to have to, you gave me 4 of them, so you're going to have to go back. And what was the second one? Well, I just spoke on the senior center, so that one's done. What was the first one? Okay, the plan came to be, they came and asked a couple of council members if there's another location within the city limits that we'd be willing to look at and donate money. So right now, if you went without any lawsuit for the shooting park, we would be allocating $250,000 a year until we got up to the end of that 11.2 years of savings to get the shooting park, the gun portion of it put in. Or you can turn around and you can donate, like we do with other nonprofits. You can donate money, a one-time thing for another shooting range within the city limits. So there's the 2 options that were out there. City Council wants to vote one way or another. That's why we had the open house at the community center for them to come and give us what their plan is and what they're doing. So it's up to the council if they want to allocate funds to either direction. But I can tell you right now, if we just did status quo, it's 11 years to get the gun range portion of where the archery range is at $250,000 a year. And we have an athletic regional park that we're dealing with $750,000 a year savings until we get donations up to get that $22 to $27 million project to fruition.
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to let the public know if you'd like to look up any activity in the court, you can go to the state's website, which is iCourt, and you can enter the search for Ada County, put in, for instance, Eagle Senior Citizens, Inc., and it will give you every lawsuit in history, and the same with City of Eagle. So that's a way where you can find the information that's publicly available.
That helps a lot because it keeps me away from saying something stupid. All right, Mark.
Hello, Mark Butler, 1675 East Bishop Way. I recommend, Mr. Mayor, that you start that clock because I have a tendency to talk forever.
Well, I have a button that shuts off the mic too, so.
I wrote a 2-page resolution encouraging the council to adopt it to bring the market back down in a formal way. And I was going to read it, but the only error that I heard brought up was that my wife and I at the time, Linda Butler, we owned 222 East State Street and the Tazo building and the building next to it. The Saturday market was started by her and I with Nancy Merrill's help. Raise your hand, Nancy Merrill. She was on the council and got it through, so private individuals started that market. And then Nancy put together the Arts Commission, and Linda went on the Arts Commission, and it went over to them. So it was started. A lot of things in this town were started by just private individuals, small mom and pop businesses. But I don't want to read that. I have come to almost every council meeting or watched them since 1994. You know, I've been involved, Design Review Board, Urban Renewal. And, you know, I've heard a lot of people rip into elected officials. And everybody up here, all these 5 people are good people. They have their differences of opinions. In the whole time I was here, there was only one person that I would agree was an absolute jerk, Al Schusterian, I'll say it on the record. Everybody does what they can. I mean, the mayor's thinking about safety. That's what he's all about. What happens if it's not done, it's not safe, and all that. Let's, you know, just all work together. Yeah, applaud when you like something. Let somebody know when you don't like it. But to be mean to people. You know, we've seen too much of that going around the country, especially, you know, elected officials. I mean, they don't have to do this. It's a lot of work. So that's really the point I want to make, is that, you know, let's respect our elected officials. You know, point out your issues, but still respect, you know, whether you're here in a meeting or doing the hit and run stuff online, which I absolutely hate. Just keep that in mind. That's all.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Suzette Poole. We come up from Mountain Home, Idaho. My husband's a retired veteran. We come up here and do the market. When it was at Heritage Park, we were almost ran over twice. Our trailer was hit. We have a 14-foot trailer. Here we have no problem. I would like to invite all of you. Have you been to the market early in the morning when everybody's unloading?
I have.
Have you seen what we go through to unload everything here? These people are experts in their field of events and stuff, and this is a much safer place. It's not ADA compliant down at Heritage Park. Where does everybody park down there? Is there any parking? So, people crossing the road, how safe is that when there's nowhere to park? Here, Josh, my customers, what did my customer tell you, the old man and lady that were there that day?
Make sure you
They
stay in the
went down
microphone.
here
Suzette,
because
stay in the
of
microphone
trees.
so that you
Sorry.
can get on record.
Because of the trees and the bathrooms, and there's somewhere to sit. There's nowhere to sit down there. And let me ask you this. What 40 vendors are you going to discriminate against and say you can't come up here because there's only room for 30 of you? Some of us depend on that money. You know, I admit the downtown does too, but when is it our responsibility as a farmer's market to support downtown? What is the meaning of a farmer's market? So I would like to invite all of you to come down to the Harvest Market, the 11th, and see how much that we have to go through to unload. All the trucks lined up, people going everywhere. How are we supposed to do that downtown? Who's going to end up getting hit? Because we have to park out in the street and carry everything around. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Terry Noyce. I'm an Eagle resident at 472 West Conneville Court, and this is my business partner, Tanya Sialko. We are vendors in the Eagle Market, and we had also had some of the same issues to bring up about we've been in it for 4 years, both at Heritage and here at City Hall. We do feel it's safer, like she mentioned. Here at City Hall, we also had the same issue of someone almost running into us in the parking that's next to Smoky Point when we first started. We also think it's much easier. The footprint is way larger here at City Hall, more accessible. We've noticed more families, young families, in the last 2 years here with their wagons and their strollers, and there's people in wheelchairs and scooters. There's so much more space. And the pet parents. So much more space in between for people to walk through, whereas Heritage Park, it was very congested. And I, as a resident, I wasn't coming to Heritage Park to go and be a customer because I didn't like the crowd. Here, I really felt it was more open. There's more green space for families to eat the food and some of the other things. One of the points that I think you mentioned is having more vendors, 70-plus vendors here, is revenue for the city, and not having as many, you'll lose some revenue.
Incubator?
This is one Tanya mentioned. We were there on Saturday. We're a vendor, and across from us was a young girl, about 12 years old, who was selling her earrings and jewelry that she made, and her mother was helping her. We called that an incubator for future entrepreneurs. Tanya came up with that, and I thought that was really great because she wouldn't have had that opportunity if it was at Heritage Park because we couldn't even get in. We didn't have very many Saturdays in Heritage Park, and this year we got 4 Saturdays in September, which would have never happened there because there's just too much competition to get in. So Yeah, the other thing we thought was it would be confusing again to change it back to Heritage Park. It took a while for the public to see that. And maybe there's a compromise somewhere. Could the downtown business have a booth that advertises their business, their shops at the market? You know, I'm all about compromise, but I think this site is definitely safer for us vendors, you know, setting up, taking down, and for the customers as well.
We also feel the brick and mortar shops are open.
Yes. The other thing was that brick and mortar shops here in downtown, they're open 7 days a week, you know, 300, you know, all year. We only have a certain amount of time that we can have our business and make money. So think about, you know, both ends. So thank you for your time. I appreciate that.
All right, Terry, I got a question for you. I didn't get your name of your business.
Oh, it's called TNT Creations. I'm Terry, and this is Tanya. So
Okay. And the other question is, are you a resident of Eagle?
I am. Yes, I live behind the Rib Shack.
Yeah. Do you know how many vendors, businesses are citizens of Eagle?
I don't know myself.
51.
specifically.
51 of you are citizens of Eagle. And I applaud you for the fact that you come in and want to participate in your own community. And I know some people can't afford a brick and mortar store.
Right.
But you could collaborate with the brick and mortar stores. Maybe you guys can do coupon type things back and forth and come up with that. But
That's
we
an
have
idea.
offered the brick and mortars an opportunity to come. Brian, correct me if I'm wrong. We were going to give the vendors a booth free of charge. I think that was the model, but they declined. So I think we have an opportunity to help them and help you guys, and we want to specifically focus on the citizens of Eagle. That's all our responsibility is just the citizens of Eagle. If somebody comes from, and I appreciate the lady who came from Emmett, that's totally, I mean, they're going to have a percentage of non-Eagle citizens, but 51 of you are Eagle citizens, and I thought that was, wow. I was blown away.
I'm impressed by that as well.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't have done Boise because it's so big, and that's why we decided, you know, we're just starting out, and we decided to try Eagle, you know, my hometown, and, you know.
I can be a future member.
But I think if we collaborate the effort between both businesses in the world, it'll be successful. We tried this at COVID to bring a downtown association together, and that it fell apart because of that. And then we had a new change in directorship there for economic development. So you have to build it back up again, right? And so we're working on that.
Right.
But but I appreciate the citizens that are
thank you for,
businesses.
Yeah, listening, and hopefully others will have ideas as well. You know, that's what we're about. Bring our ideas forward.
Collaborating.
Right.
We're not enemies. We
Right.
should work
Exactly.
together
you, though.
for the benefit of Eagle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, you brought up the Downtown Business Association, so I was just going to say the city actually passed a resolution, so we have that, and that's going to be something that will be easily resurrected for the businesses to all participate in and have a voice. Yeah.
Jenny Downing, 426 East Rockingham Drive. I guess I'm looking for a little bit of clarification. We have talked about events kind of holistically. When we talk about events, is that including the Saturday market? So is the Saturday market coming back to Heritage Park? Has that been decided?
Jenny, I'll answer that. Yes, the motion was to return all historical events, which would only exclude the Night of 1,000 Pumpkins and the Arts and Crafts Fair that is at the Lakemore shopping center there.
Okay.
In Lakemore. So that would include the concert series, everything that historically was held before needs to return.
Okay.
And as we've talked, you know, perhaps at some point in time there can be a second location that can be held somewhere, perhaps maybe on the west side, so that people don't have to drive so far. You know, we're open to other options as well, but we really want to return the feeling back to downtown, the quaint feeling that we have, and help our small businesses, and just have a celebration. So,
What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Jenny Downing.
Jenny, that's right.
So yes, I own a business in downtown Eagle, so yes, we've been impacted, and you know, maybe that makes me biased to wanting to bring the market back, but I honestly feel like the charm of the market is not the same here. It's parking lots. It's a government building. There's no restaurants. There's no boutique shops to walk around to. Excuse me. I have the mic,
Yeah,
I believe.
everybody, yeah, please, that's the civility part that I'll be very strict on. Be respectful to each other. You're all citizens of our community. I will not tolerate that. I'm sorry.
Thank you. We've been working closely with ACHD to understand the ins and outs of the project. The ped ramps are going to be, ADA compliant, so safety, I think, will be improved. And I get your guys' concerns about unloading. Mr. Mayor, I actually did do 3 pop-ups at the market. It was not successful for me, and then to have to staff, 2 locations, it wasn't financially feasible for me. So I tried. I did. I don't know how many others did, but I think it's the heart of our city at Heritage Park, and it just is. It's not the same here. So I guess that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou.
Mayor, council members, my name is Erin Johansson, Business and Community Relations Coordinator at ACHD. I've had the pleasure of working with all of you for the last 2 years and the amazing businesses downtown. We've met once a month to give updates with all the construction. We've been through rain, snow, you name it, to connect with the public about the project. I'm happy to report that it is going to be completed at the end of October. So we're very excited about that. I am an Eagle resident, so I understand the frustration with congestion, businesses, and we've done our best to really help the businesses downtown, making maps and other things. But I just wanted to give the update that we do meet every Thursday with the construction team and city, and end of October is the target date.
Thanks.
Erin, quick question for you. Quick question for you. I know we have kind of touched on in the past with the events coming back down to Heritage Park and the opportunity to maybe possibly close off some of the other streets for safety. What can we do in that regard to help enlarge the footprint of a safer environment for those that are, not just a vendor, but also participating, as a client in Heritage Park?
That's a great question, Councilmember. Thank you so much. There is an agreement with the city and ACHD. There is no fee to shut down the roads. It's not a problem to do so.
So it's a simple process.
It's a simple process.
Okay.
You work with our events team. We will work with you on what is needed, and we're happy to do that, whatever streets are necessary. We did provide, I believe, also things for the 4th of July parade, barricades, and those types of things. So we're always willing to work with cities on what their needs are, and Josh has done a great job. He and I communicate a lot, so thank you. Yeah, it's not a problem at all.
Great. Good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you, Councilmember.
All right, Erin, I'm going to ask Brian to come up and give a little bit of the second part of that, because your part's important and your fees are minimal, but I'd like the public to understand the whole picture when we're talking about shutting streets down downtown.
For road closures?
Yes.
Okay. They've increased, of course, since we started several years ago. And Josh just recently has done quotes from traffic control companies, because the city doesn't do that. We have to hire it out. And per road closure, just to close from 2nd Street to Eagle Road, is $2,500 to $2,700 per closure every time we do that. So that if we do that for whatever event we do, that's the minimum to close just that section.
Okay, is that barricades or just staff?
That's staff, barricades.
All of it?
Just the barricades.
Oh, just the barricades?
Not the security staff, which is an additional fee that we pay for security to be there in traffic control.
Okay, so roughly how much, how much money are we talking about?
It would probably be average about $3,000 per road closure if we just close 2nd to Eagle Road.
Okay. And that would be every Saturday if we did the
Anytime
market
we
back
close
there,
it,
right?
Sure,
Okay.
that's what it is. So that's
Mr. Mayor, I just had a question for Josh. Josh, I don't recall closing State to Eagle Road in front during Saturday market. I remember we've done that in the past for fun days. Right.
Larger events
So last year when we closed it at 2nd, that was a $3,000 closure when we bifurcated State?
Correct.
State? Okay.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
And
So that would be more for fun days.
We would close usually because you have to have a place to turn around and whatnot. So when we would close that, it was always from Eagle to 2nd. That was where we had to close,
Right.
because there's nowhere else to close it. You can't
Right.
convert everybody down,
But if we run it in all the way downstate to Eagle Road, we would close it at Eagle Road, and that would be
Correct.
3,000. And that would be at Fun Days. Okay.
Correct. That's
Just
Fun Days,
clarification.
and that's what we would do for Harvest Fest. We did that for Country Christmas. We did it for the opening day of the market because we would do a bigger kind of celebratory event
Okay.
for the market itself, but only opening day. Any of the major events like Fun Days and whatnot, that was the road closure that we would do. Of course, Fun Days, we actually closed further, but yeah.
Sure.
That,
Okay.
that is the road closure. If we are required to close the road for any event, be it a market or whatnot, that's the minimum road closure right there.
Okay, thank you.
Aaron, you want to add something?
Sure. Sorry, council members and Mayor, I want to add that that is not our cost to
Correct.
close our roads, obviously because of our agreement with cities. I do know that other cities do have people that take the courses to be the person to do the traffic control. So that's something else that the city can look into and then purchase their own traffic control for events. That is another option too as well, other than using other traffic control companies. So that is the information I have. I just wanted to be clear that it was not ACHD.
Right.
Okay,
And
thank you so much.
We knew that. Thank you, though.
Mr. Mayor. And Aaron, today I got some information too that where we would possibly use 4 flaggers from a private company, we would not have to do that if we had 1 police officer out there doing that.
Oh, okay.
So,
Great.
yeah, that's a little bit of a savings.
Yeah, I do know that you'll have to talk to our traffic department and event department, and they'll let you know. Great, thank you so much.
Okay, Meg?
Good evening. I'm Meg Glasgow. I'm a longtime Eagle resident, Idaho native, and owner of Finer Frames in downtown Eagle. Thank you for this opportunity, number one, and thank you for the clarification. It's nice to hear your support of downtown as being the cultural heart and soul of the city. And I know the construction, the roads, the revamp of Heritage Park has driven events and stuff here. But I'm glad to hear your commitment to add to the vitality of downtown. Because thriving downtowns don't happen by accident, and it really takes a collaboration between the city, the downtown business community, and the residents to really strengthen and make it really, really successful. And I'm glad to hear you leading by example, restoring those events. But also I'd like to take this opportunity to maybe look at a few other things. Like we have an opportunity to rebrand all of downtown with this reopening. We've got so much exciting news to share with the community. So Rediscover Downtown Eagle, I think would be a great campaign to work with the city, with the chamber, with the business community, to really focus on inviting the community to come downtown and rediscover the area. The other thing is I would love to see the restoration of the Downtown Advisory Committee. I had the privilege of serving on that committee during COVID. I think there's still work to be done, working on finding parking solutions, looking at code flexibility, certainly downtown events, part of that, but really being a feedback loop between members of the business community and the city government to really make sure that we keep downtown a thriving place. So I would like to encourage you to think about those things.
Would you like to chair it? I mean, well, we were working on it together, and
yes,
so, yeah.
I would love to see put together a team to make that happen, because I think there's work to be done for sure.
So do I. Thanks, Meg.
Yeah, great.
All right.
Hi, Nick Zebbio, 6706 West Panko Street, Eagle, Idaho. My wife and I own the cottage on 2nd Avenue at Mark Butler's building. Mr. Mayor, you started off your very first response by saying you don't care if the events are at Heritage Park or here.
Correct.
I'll keep it very respectful. Well, that's kind of my point, is that you really should care. And I know your go-to respectfully emotion is anger, but
No, it's not. Just get it out. Go ahead and say
I can
your
take my
piece.
time.
Yeah.
I have 3 minutes, right? Great.
Yeah. That's what I said. Go ahead.
Sure. It's been wildly evident that we do not feel this way about the council. We do not feel this way about the general process. It's consistently been you, that all the backdoor meetings, all the emails, all going at it, it's wildly evident, whether you want to admit it or not, that you've never wanted the events in downtown Eagle. You consistently want them here for reasons nobody really understands except some of the vendors, and I get it, that's fine. I don't know why you have such weird disdain for the businesses in downtown Eagle, but that's the way it comes across consistently. And even with the argumentative nature when this meeting still started, I'm not going to admit it, I'm sure, but I'm guessing some of the council members feel the same way. I know I'm not going to get an answer out of you.
Oh, you'll get an answer. Don't worry.
Fabulous. But we don't appreciate it. We don't think it's fair, and we don't think you represent us. I don't know why, but that's the way we feel.
Well, I appreciate your comments.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'll answer them.
Please.
All right. You and I have talked a couple of times.
Yes.
We'll talk in the future by ourselves because we don't need to have it out laundered out in here.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. It's not a threat. It's
What
just a
does that mean?
conversation. It's just a conversation, dude.
Okay.
You know, all right, I'm 67 years old. I'm just going to have a conversation with you, okay?
Okay.
I'm not going to muscle up on you. Don't worry.
You're not going to call my wife sweetheart again?
Yeah. I don't know if I ever called her sweetheart.
Oh, yeah, you did. I promise.
Okay, all right. If I called her sweetheart, I'm sorry, okay? I apologize to you in your manhood, okay? I'm sorry. But here's the deal.
Am I the only
I
one
am
who
talking.
sees this?
Okay, I'm talking now. Sorry. Listen, I'm talking now, okay? Here's the
Okay.
deal.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I've never been against the downtown at all. And here's the deal. I was the one that initiated, and Meg can back me up on this, to get a downtown association established well before you were ever here, okay? The COVID came into play. It kind of threw us to a side, and we lost our motivation. We lost our economic director. But here's the deal. I get information daily from the staff. They're the professionals. I'm not the professionals on putting events together. I don't know anything about businesses downtown. But I am going to defend the fact that they tell me daily how things should be run. Okay?
Okay.
So, and I'm their CEO, so I am going to speak on the information they give me from a professional realm.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the attitude that I may present to you guys is a reflection from the animosity that I get daily from the emails from not only business owners, for people that are joining your group to slam me personally. So after a while, yeah, I take a lot of arrows, but after a while, it kind of gets old.
No, you were like this
So-
from day one. You didn't support having the businesses have.
Don't
events
put words
downtown.
in my mouth, dude. I have
I'm
not done
I'm-
that.
I'm giving
I
my
have not-
perspective.
No, you can have all your perspective you want. But
Okay.
here's the deal.
Yeah.
I've been supportive of the downtowns from day one, long before you were here. I'm just
I don't know why
telling
you
you
keep
that.
saying that, but go ahead. Well, am I worth less because I haven't been here as
No,
long as
I'm
you or
just telling.
something? What
What
does
I'm
that mean?
telling you because I worked it prior to you getting here. I've been
Okay.
advocating for these businesses downtown the whole time I've been on
No,
council.
you haven't.
All right. Well, you're just gonna have to have a difference of opinion.
Okay.
And,
Well, it's
yeah.
mine and a lot of other people for what it's
Okay.
worth. Again, I know you don't care,
Okay.
but I'm letting you know the core of the downtown businesses feel like you are against us.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's
Okay.
all I could say.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. All right. Who's up next? Megan.
Hi, my name is Megan Hoyson. I'm the owner of Sweet Tea Living on 99 East State Street, downtown Eagle. I'm also a resident of Eagle. First of all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the council. Thank you for the mayor for listening. My whole speech that I had, I don't need, so I just tore it up because I don't need it. We have been trying to battle through all the construction, and it has been 3 years, not with public construction, but a lot of private construction downtown too. So we have felt a lot of pain, and you guys have heard me say that numerous times. But I do want to say thank you for trying to get these events back. I want to also say thank you to Josh and Sherry. You guys have worked really hard. I know when you guys did the market right outside my door, it's hot. It's a lot of work. And I do want to say I appreciate what you've done and what you've done to bring it down here and then hopefully to bring it back. I do love that Heritage Park has got some renovations, so maybe you guys can store some of the stuff, because I used to watch them have to lug it all and haul it back down here to store. So I am excited that the City Council had moved forward to provide some more bathrooms for downtown for the Heritage Park. I guess what my concern is that when we talk about the events, the historical events like Councilman Russell just said, that includes the market. With putting that much money into Heritage Park, I know you didn't do the full, expansion, but you are putting money and time into that space to be used. And I think it would be a good use for your citizens to be able to see that their money's being used weekly. I understand, as I used to be a vendor as well, before ever, not at this market, but years before I started my business. It is a lot of work to set up and tear down. So hopefully maybe if there's different ways that they can work through those, different time slots that people can set up and tear down, that there can be more safety in it. I am excited that the ADA compliance will be there for all those that are, disabled in different ways, that they can experience that down there as well. I know we had shut down First Street right next to my shop before. I don't know if that's just as much to shut down that little street as it is to do the main street. But I know that that's where we could get a lot more vendors. I do want to collaborate. I don't want it to be us and them. I've always said I care about my town. I raised my kids here. I want my business to be a light in our community. And so I really am wanting to collaborate. If there's ways that we can promote the market, that we can do where our customers go out, and that's more people to visit the vendors, and their customers can come in. I think it could be a win-win for everyone. And so I want to ask the question again that I've asked over the last year and a half is, can we be committed to knowing that the market and all the events will return to Heritage Park?
Meg, yes, the motion was for all historical events to come back. One thing I will say to you and to everybody that is here as well, Councilwoman Russell and I will obviously not be here beyond January. So I would encourage everybody, if this is something that you're passionate about and you want to see that this is enacted throughout the remaining history of Eagle, to speak to those that are running for council and ensure that is, if their values line up with yours, and that would be a great question in order to ask those that are currently on the ballot for the fall.
So I have one last question then is, when do we know that the decision is made and it's final? Because I feel like as I have my notes, like Russell said, from last October 2nd, I sat here with Aaron from One Hot Cookie, and we watched you guys pass everything, and Councilwoman May asked, if we approve this, then that means everything's coming back. And we left feeling like, awesome. And then we did it again. And then we did it again now. And so that's where, when is the decision actually done?
It was supposed to be already done.
Okay, I just want to make sure. That's just our concern as businesses. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.